Vox Akuma subscribers plummet after getting exposed. I literally just saw some tweets, that's it, about the situation and how some weird messy dating situation. I have no idea what's going on. I'll be real. This is by more Kazahana. I've seen this guy occasionally on the Twitter. If I'm not wrong, I've seen this man occasionally on the Twitter. That's it. I've aside from that, I have no idea. I think I'm gonna move myself over here. I don't think he's gonna cover. I don't want to block the man. I'm a good boy. Anyways, we'll listen. We will listen.
Okay, so it seems that we have a little bit of an update on Vox Akuma. Now, I thought I'd provide you this update because obviously we talked about some of the fans that were leaving Vox and kind of saying that they were dropping him and they were not going to watch him anymore, which...
Yeah, there were plenty of people like giving away their merch. There were people, if I remember correctly, there were also people like, what's the word? Getting rid, like actually permanently, like there was somebody burning. I think there was a woman burning her merch. I have no idea, but it's been crazy.
Obviously, comes out obviously after all of the kind of stuff that has happened with him, including everything that was included in the Bari Loaf document, where essentially it kind of reveals the fact that Vox Akuma could have been allegedly kind of talking to fans while also dating another liver, Reimu, which obviously a lot of people are very upset about, and rightfully so, because obviously it's horrible, you know, cheating on anybody is horrible, and I think, you know, a lot of people have been kind of outraged by it.
As usual, you know, for cheating, you know. I do think there is an option for the guillotine. I feel like.
Exactly what has gone on, and especially due to the fact of the unprofessionality of how Vox has handled things in terms of, yeah, talking to fans and even accepting like pictures and stuff in a kind of, you know, that kind of manner, which I think obviously some people, yeah, have been very, very angry about and have been even dropping him in terms of watching and everything like that, which has been pretty crazy. But obviously, whenever we covered this and whenever I talked about this, I thought, okay, well, some people are saying they're dropping him. It's about like one or two people that are just angry, right? And I think that honestly,
to be fair, I think that he's gonna get by this unscathed. His reputation is a little bit tainted, but I think for the most part, he might get past this without much issue. Noted, Samax. That's what I believe. That's what it feels like, at least to me.
At the end of the day, his channel's going to be fine, and nothing's really going to show up on the analytics. And, well, I was pretty wrong on that, because it has actually shown.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just a temporary thing. Personally, usually you can just ignore shit for a while and then it just goes away. I don't know, we'll see. I don't think this is career ending, to be fair.
Showed up on the analytics. Now, not massively to the point where, you know, Vox Akuma's channel was dying. No, that's not the case here. But I do think that, you know, obviously it has had an effect on some fans to the point where he lost over 10,000 subscribers on the 5th of November. And obviously this obviously coincides.
Rest in peace, bozo! Nah, that's not really... Fine, it's 10k. Okay, 10k, sure. Holy fuck, those estimated earnings are horrendous, by the way.
With everything that was going on and all of the kind of accusations and stuff that were thrown about, and yeah, it seems like he has lost 10,000 subscribers and is also having a daily average of minus 333, which I think is pretty insane. And obviously a lot of people yeah, have not been happy with him, and it seems like they have followed through with that in terms of unfollowing from his YouTube. And I think the one thing that is kind of different here, obviously if you
Vox Akuma mass unfollowing, I could see it.
You guys saw my previous video, or one of my previous videos, we talked about Bao and her kind of stuff. Essentially, you know, she's dropped off massively on kind of Twitch as well, but her YouTube's okay. But I think the one kind of downside about this whole Vox Akuma thing is that obviously everything is consolidated onto YouTube, meaning that it is much more obvious whenever, you know, fans are not happy, because there is only one place they can really go to, apart from like Twitter, to kind of unfollow and to, yeah, like kind of, you know, show the fact that you are not happy. And it seems like, yeah, this channel is going not so so great at the moment in terms of subscribers and in terms of people sticking around and supporting him, which honestly I think, you know, is fine. I think if people have that opinion of Vox after everything that's come out, I think they're
to be fair, it kind of does deserve it. I mean, if all of the alleged stuff that he did in fact cheat and that he was talking to viewers is in fact true, then yeah, I think that's 100% deserved. People are mad for good reason here, for sure.
Totally valid to unfollow and stop supporting him. And yeah, I mean, people have not been too happy, and you can see here as well, he's always had like a kind of past of people unfollowing, obviously due to several controversies and stuff, but this just seems to be another installment of...
To be fair, that's probably, again, a lot of the unfollowing does happen not because of him, but because of the controversies that Niji-sanji is in general. But this time it's 100% on him.
Of people unfollowing Vox Akuma over, you know, some kind of drama and everything like that. And I do think, yeah, it is justified. I do think people are justified in unfollowing Vox Akuma for the kind of interactions he was having with...
And to be fair, I think also the moment people would have found out that he's actually dating, you would have also seen a lot of people, or a good portion of people, unsubscribe and unfollow. So, sure. Yeah, some fans online and everything like that. Now, again, Borrowloaf still hasn't made any kind of update on everything that's going on. Obviously, this was the final response that, you know, she put out, and this is not even up on Google Docs. You can see here it's been you know, flagged for a violation in terms of service. I'm unsure on who exactly has done this, but I'm assuming it is some of the... What do you mean you're uncertain who has done this? It's pretty obvious who has done this. It's pretty obvious. It was Niji-sanji.
Niji-sanji fans out there who want to hide as much information as they can, because not only, you know, obviously this original post...
well, it might be the fans. I feel like it's more so... I mean, it could also be Niji-sanji themselves be like, actually, yeah, goodbye, stop it. Poke gets into controversy, we'll just gain more followers. True and real.
Was meant to be about like Reimu and stuff like that, and was originally supposed to be more like Reimu targeted, but at the same time she managed to drag in people like Vox and other VTubers as well within Niji-sanji into this Google Doc, which has now had the Niji-sanji fan base on like full alert, because yeah, it does expose a lot of stuff behind the scenes that maybe some people aren't happy about. Now, there was also other people you know, in the community who were unhappy for other reasons, which I thought was pretty crazy. For example, you know, the majority of people, I'm pretty sure, are unhappy with his actions with that fan and the cheating and all of that kind of stuff, right? But there's another kind of side of Vox Akuma fans who, you know, obviously didn't know about Reimu and him dating, and are now angry at that too, which I think is quite funny.
We call it That Has a Name. That has a name. Those people are unicorns. Do not interact with a woman. I will unfollow you. Or do not interact with a man. I will unfollow you. Those are usually those are the ones that are extra parasocial.
You know, how parasocial, you know, he's built up his audience to be, that now he's losing over 10,000 followers over the fact that he had a girlfriend at one point. They're not even together now, but he did at one point, and people were kind of unhappy at that too, which I think is like the craziest drama, you know, like, oh boy, I'm in drama, I had a girlfriend, that's...
How dare you? How could you touch pussy? That's like... This man, he's no longer untouched. Burn the wizard.
Huge drama, guys, which I think obviously is pretty insane. But I do obviously respect, you know, I not so much the ones, you know, kind of saying, oh, he had a girlfriend, I can't follow him. I guess if you want to do that, you're free to do whatever you want. But I more so respect the people that are, you know, unfollowing due to the cheating and things like that. I think that, you know, makes a little bit more sense, right? People have been also talking...
Bro, you say that, but then you forget Rushia. Rushia was torn apart for having a boyfriend. I'd be very careful with that.
about it on Kazahana, as we saw last time. You know, people have been kind of giving TLDRs for people because it has been a pretty crazy situation and a pretty twisted topic, you know, because as I said, with the Bari Loaf Google Doc, right, the Bari Loaf Google Doc called out Reimu and things, and this was between Reimu, or now known as Marie FD, and it was between her and Bari Loaf, and then obviously Ike got involved with his screenshots, and then, you know, Vox got involved, or not involved, but Vox was mentioned with all of that kind of stuff, right? And then also we've had all of this stuff with Doki Bird and Ike actually collaborating, and then all the hate that has come their way from that. So it...
His mouse. Something's loading in the background and it's irritating me. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. I wonder how the reaction would be if that X was a former fan. Would they be happy that they've got a chance? Or would they just be jelly and crash out? Jelly and crash out. Hi, Rescue Squad. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I think they would probably, crash out on this. Because it would probably be very jelly. Niji sisters in general are, what's the word? Very aggressive.
It has been a pretty crazy time if you are following the Niji Sanji drama, to the point where, you know, a lot of people are expecting TLDRs because it is very confusing. There is a lot going on. A lot of people are doing things right now, and it is very active. Now, Niji Sanji themselves haven't spoken up about anything. They haven't released any statements. No one's been graduated or anything like that. But again, I feel like, you know, we are on the brink of another kind of graduation or something happening. Not necessarily with Vox, but literally anybody.
I mean, somebody's definitely going to graduate. Like, this isn't surprising. Eventually, again, they come and go in Niji Sanji and get replaced pretty quickly too. That's usually pretty normal. Burn the Wizard. Not goes as well as Burn the Witch. But he's a man. Witches can only be women.
Who is involved in this situation. Obviously, I know most of them are out now. Obviously, Ike is out, Reimu's out, Doki Bird's out. I think the only one that's actually in is Vox. So maybe, you know, Vox is the last one left, and the controversy surrounding him might have gotten too much for them. But
they got this man chained up. To be fair, I feel like they got this man chained up in the basement. He's like, you know the meme of like the completely like drained cow and the farmer coming in and be like ready to milk him? I feel like they have this man chained up in the basement.
But again, I feel like, you know, he brings in a lot of viewership and stuff to the point where I think that Niji Sanji can afford just to keep him and just kind of tank a lot of the, you know, controversy and drama going their way. But again, I just kind of wanted to provide you guys with that update because I did think it was very interesting to see that the analytics have fell, because I said in my previous video that, oh, he's fine, you know, his analytics on YouTube aren't dropping. And as I said in my previous video with Bao, you know, a lot of the time with Twitter drama and other drama that isn't really surrounding your videos or anything like that. Like, you know, the only time that this kind of happens is if you make a bad YouTube video. People will obviously mass dislike it, they will unfollow you and whatever, and that can be pretty bad as it affects your YouTube directly. But a lot of the time, whenever it comes to like Google Doc drama, Twitter drama, everything outside of YouTube, right? Usually it stays away from YouTube, you know?
Yeah, that's usually the case. Google Doc, it depends. It depends. Like, if you like get targeted by multiple people, then it may have an effect. But I don't know. I'm washing clothes. Okay. Laundry, important.
Usually it stays away from YouTube and Twitch and all these other places where essentially, yeah, like you have all of this hate on one platform, but then you go over to YouTube and it's like totally fine and no one's over there, right? And, you know, but this is slightly different to the, you know, point where people feel the need to unsubscribe from his YouTube. And as I said, it might be a little bit different due to the fact that obviously he streams and makes videos on the channel. So that could also kind of contribute to that. But yeah, I mean, it seems like he hasn't grown subscribers in a very, very long time. And
to be fair, let's say somebody does in fact, like, it's hard to say, right? Considering that the controversy isn't really big enough, I think he'll now just be known as a cheater. And, like, he cannot be trusted with women. But I feel like, again, give this, like, a few weeks, like 2 months, and nobody remembers. And they're gonna, slobber over Vox again.
I don't think, you know, it will happen anytime soon with this new drama that is kind of dropped And yeah, people are not happy, and people are making it known that they're not happy with a lot of the subscribers. Because as I said, as we were looking through all of those replies and things, and all of those kind of posts saying, you know, I'm dropping Vox Akuma, I don't like him anymore, blah, 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 right? You know, obviously, totally good. You know, they can do that if they want. But, you know, obviously, there is the kind of case of, are you actually going to unsubscribe from him? Are you actually going to act on that? Or are you just making...
Also, they're kind of like, now, right, he's single, which means that some of these followers and subscribers are like, there is a chance. And he was interacting with viewers, right? With fans and being weird with them. So they're like, there is a chance. I have a chance.
A tweet, because obviously people are angry at the moment, right? And well, it seems like they did follow through, seeing as 10,000 of them have unsubscribed. But yeah, I thought I'd share that bit of information with you because I thought it was pretty interesting. And obviously, it kind of shows you exactly what kind of situation Vox Akuma is in after a lot of this kind of drama and stuff has gone on. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys.
To summarize, Niji Sanji is Niji Sanjiing. Won't be the last controversy, but it will be a controversy that you will not escape. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.